So, we got a little snow outside today. I decided to stay home and go ahead and process this last Maitake of the season. It's a beauty. It's a little dark because it's been in my fridge, but it is a beauty. We're going to make some Maitake broth today, and I'm going to show you how I do it. First, we're in November. Halloween's over. Time to process mushrooms. Let's do this. So this is what I do. Slice the mushroom. Just like in other videos I've showed you. If you slice it like this, it's so much easier to process and get all the little grass, leaves, dirt, and creatures out. So this is how I do it. Slices are easily cleaned, much easier. And you see this has no bugs at all. I mean, that right there isn't even a bug. That's probably where the mushroom grew a dark spot. They do that a little bit on Maitake, like under here, you see that dark? That's just mushroom. That's not even dirt. That's just mushroom color. Anyway, step 2 is next. Take the Maitake, rinse that sucker. So I'm turning on my water. And you can rinse it pretty thoroughly. This mushroom can take a lot of abuse. And water also. So I just rinse it out. Rinse every little nook and cranny out. Just like this. And I'll rinse it better before I put it in the crock pot. But I'm just showing you this mushroom is a hardy mushroom, and it can take pretty much whatever you want to put it through, it will do for you. Everyone I know who chooses to eat mushrooms loves this mushroom. We have such a good time coming up with recipes for this mushroom. Anyway, this isn't a very dirty mushroom, so I shouldn't have very much cleaning to do. I'll get back with you in a moment. Okay, so now I have a pile of Maitake. I have rinsed my mushroom and I have pulled it apart just a little because this mushroom will grow around grass and leaves and all kinds of stuff, so, and even sticks. So you want to kind of pull it apart, or pull it apart a lot. You know, it shreds just like string cheese. It'll come apart easily. This piece looks like it needs to be washed a little more. Anyway, so I'm going to put all this in my tiny crock pot. Just like this. Just throw it in. Oops. All this mushroom can go in there. I'm making a mess. It smells so good. This mushroom smells so meaty, and that's why it makes excellent broth. It'll be the best broth you ever made. You could throw it in with a roast, vegetable soup. I'm sure it would be really good with bean soup, or you could probably just make Maitake soup if you want to. All right, so now we're going to, I'm rinsing my board right now, and we're going to throw in several cloves of garlic. That will be the next step, and it will give the most flavor. So let me do that. Okay, so if you don't know, you take your garlic like this, go like that to each one, and your garlic paper will come off super easy. And you'll just have nice, beautiful cloves of garlic left. Throw those in there. Those will be good. I only put 3 because it's a little small pot. Okay, so we're done with that. Next, I'm going to add all of these things. Black pepper, plenty of it. onion salt. Plenty of it. So now I'm going to add a teeny little bit of olive oil into my maitake, just to add flavor and possibly pull a little more flavor out. And that way, at least when I put it with a meat, if it's not a very fatty meat, like chicken or something, it will have a little bit of extra fat in it. So, the next plan that I do every single time is, and I do this with all my soups, I do this with everything I make except like salsa, but everything else I add a little bit of coffee, just a little bit. It adds quite a bit of flavor. I just added a little water to my coffee pot from this morning. And now all I need is water. So, I'm going to put about half full of water here. So, well, maybe 3/4 full. A little bit more. There we go. So my mushrooms aren't totally floating in it. They're going to melt down to a jelly-like consistency. And when it gets done, I'm going to take out the mushroom. And I'm going to put the mushroom in a blender. Blend it up. It'll turn into a mush kind of thing. And I just dump it back in the broth, and that broth is ready to go. I can freeze it. I can use it all year long. And like I said, it's delicious in anything. So if you have any maitake in your presence, make some broth and try it out. It makes the best soups. You won't believe the absolute deliciousness. Have a good day. Well, as I was editing, I realized that I did not give you the full information. I leave the maitake in the crock pot for 4 to 5 hours. Then I turn it off, usually till the next morning. I usually do it at night though. And then I take the mushroom out and grind it up, and I put it back in there, and now my broth is ready. I feel like if I let it sit and cool all the way, that I'm probably getting like all the nutrients and just the best quality broth. It just really turns out good every single time. So if you've got maitake, you must take a chance and try that. See ya.